Hi y'all, welcome to the studio. Today I have a little cozy fall day in the life studio vlog for you. I've got some reading, research, and some work on an illustration project that I'm gonna bring you along for. So grab yourself a cozy drink, get out whatever supplies you need to work on your projects, and let's do it together. I normally start my day with some coffee or more lately tea, and today I'm going to actually use a tablet, an immunity tablet from the company Nuun, N-U-U-N, so that's why it's fizzing like crazy. They have wonderful vitamin tablets as well, and yeah, very few calories, very little sugar, but all the vitamins and coziness of a tea. So that's what I'm gonna have today. And since my brain wakes up really slowly in the morning, I've been starting my day with reading, not leisure reading like I read fiction at night. I've actually been spending at least 20 minutes a day reading towards gaining knowledge I need for business and self-betterment. So right now I'm reading You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, same author that wrote You Are a Badass. And it's just incredible. It's hilarious, and it's really changing my mindset and the way I perceive and think about money. And I think that I'll have a lot to apply as I go forward in my business from this book. Here's the sun rising. It's gone from pink to this beautiful orange. Here's my Chihuahua Terrier. Let me put on some cozy music for us. I'm not talking to myself. I just couldn't breathe through my nose, so that's why my mouth is open during this entire reading session. I love watching my little dog move her head back and forth as she listens to things in the room. And I'm actually going to take some notes and put tabs in this book for future reference. But yeah, this has become our morning routine. Next up, I've got some emailing to do and some research time. So I've got a little notebook here specifically full of a ton of new stuff to learn for the art business side of things. For example, I recently took a Skillshare class from Arlisha Yetzer called Building a Rhythm Map. And that was all about planning and organizing small projects, medium projects, and more long-term projects for your art business so that you could get a rhythm, so that you knew how to focus your time and get some planning under you, just because a lot of artists are willy-nilly create when you feel like creating, and that doesn't really fit into running an art business. You need to create, of course, but there's a whole lot of planning that goes into it. You need to hit deadlines, and so that was an incredibly helpful class. And then I started taking a bunch of notes on online store hosting, Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, all these places to think about. WooCommerce, because my current website is hosted by WordPress. And then I was looking into social media managers, which is not something I need just yet, but I will dip more into that in the future. Then, of course, mandatory animal cuddles. I know it looks like I'm just smothering this poor cat. This is my cat Dragon. But she's incredibly cuddly and loves to be on us. Right now she's getting a bit of forced cuddles, but that never killed anybody. Never, ever forget to just take a couple moments to appreciate what's right in front of you. Even just a couple moments. She makes my day so much better. The next thing I did was I took an art business webinar by Jenna Webb, and this was incredibly inspiring and helpful. It talked about some mind shifts I needed to do in my art business. This includes the simple fact of needing to put 80% of your time into your business and 20% into the making or the painting part of it, which is something I've known for so long, but I needed a reminder. I needed to be told, hey, if you really want this, stop and actually follow these instructions for a little while. So that was super helpful. I've also made the commitment to spend at least 1 hour a day to self-development to help in this area and just really attack the weaknesses, which is what has been holding me back from living as a full-time artist. And there were just so much more things to take into consideration from that webinar. That was awesome. And now I'm going to hang out with you a little bit, get some art done, but first, a little discussion about an accidental purchase. Hi everyone. Today, you get to see a little bit more of my studio. You can see that I have a window here, which lets in usually more light. It's a bit overcast today, a bit chilly. And so I have cinnamon spice tea. And if you haven't tried it before, it gets sweeter and sweeter the longer it steeps, and there's not sugar in it. Well, there's probably natural sugar in it just from this, whatever they've got in their apple. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to talk to you about this accidental purchase. I'll explain. I was rushed before class one day, and I had to pick up some more watercolor paper for a project I'm working on. And so I rushed into this art store, which is actually going out of business. And so things are on sale. So I found my watercolor paper and was scampering past these brushes, and they caught my eye because my favorite travel watercolor brushes are Synthetic Squirrel, and they are this brand. And they weren't very expensive when I got them. And the store was 40% off. I don't know where my head was. It was probably, telling me I should probably get to work where I teach. I glanced over and I thought that this label said $13.25. I don't know why it would be $13.25. That's ridiculous. It is $132.25. I guess that just seemed so ridiculous that 13 seemed more likely. And I probably didn't pay more than 30 for my travel set of 4 brushes. But these are much larger, and they're not travel brushes, and they take a lot of work to set up and make this beautiful. I decided to keep them. Could have returned them, but I figured it was meant to be, and that I should really work with some high quality tools, because some of the biggest jumps I've ever made in my art have been when I went from a very cheap watercolor to nicer watercolor, when I went from cheaper paper to nicer paper, cheaper pencils to nicer pencils. It does make a difference. Our materials matter, especially if you love your materials and they excite you and they work well for what you need them to. So it's important to broaden your horizons, expand your toolkit. So I thought I'd open them up today and check them out with you and give them a try. First thing to mention here is I am not that practiced at children's book illustration. I have illustrated a science textbook, but that's very different from sort of making these cartoon characters that you can draw over and over that kind of look the same, and I'm much better with the forest. I really enjoyed that part. But this book is a little dedicated sketchbook just specifically for improving my children's book illustration technique to try to find my own style, because it's new to me. You can see just how many times I redraw a hand or I redraw a face. So that helps maybe beginners realize that you don't just draw something and it works out perfectly. If you want a good drawing, you've got to be willing to erase it several times, which I did with this boy. The bear was a lot easier, except that I didn't clearly know where to put his feet. Let's redraw this face several times, and let's redraw this arm 1, 2, 3 times. Now we get to the fun part, the part I'm more practiced at, the watercolors. Here I am practicing using the new brush. I love the marks it makes, this flat brush. It's very expressive. And then I try out the size 8 round brush, and it works beautifully. I didn't get a chance to use all 4 brushes, but when I do test out the other ones, I'll be sure to let you know what I think of them. Here I am just in deepening all the colors, making them more intense. You can see me flipping back and forth. That's to check the expressions of the boy that I've practiced drawing on other pages. Let me add the ground in here. And then go in and add some shadows and some depth. Oh, kitty cuddles and puppy cuddles. I draw with the paintbrush here and then get to drop in this really cool green color. I love this green for the leaves that I just drew in. Make the color more intense and pull out colored pencils for detail and that sketchy look that I was going for. Next, I add the dark for contrast and the white. And here's a closer look at that dedicated book where I'm practicing expressions and characters, character development, and one of my plans, and the stopping point for this illustration today. It's not complete, but it's good enough for now. Thank you for joining me for a little cozy fall workday behind the scenes video. I hope to have some more tutorial-like videos coming up soon. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or you want to join me for some more art videos coming up soon. If you like and subscribe, I will reward you with this horrible outtakes reel right now. Is there anything in my cheese? Something like that. Until next time. I'm gonna keep waving until you like and subscribe. I'm waiting patiently. Bullying you, really. No, just kidding. Please do though. You know you want to get a notification every time a video comes up, because you don't want to miss moments like that where I'm singing to you. You don't want to miss them. Bye.